Welcome to the Full Armor of Game podcast, episode 52, Bible Game Part Dos, Part 2. If you guys missed the first part of the Bible game, catch that on episode 51. It is one of the most important podcasts for you guys out there, even if you don't believe in the Bible, if you've never read the Bible, there is some heavy game in there that we are breaking down for you guys.
You bring the crowns and heads of conquered kings to my city steps. You insult my queen. You threaten my people with slavery and death. This is Sparta! Sparta! Put on the whole armor of game. This is where we fight! And these shield boys!
And everyone that joined our 5-week seminar, thank you guys so much. You guys are going to definitely learn everything there is about women. For the guys that didn't join, you guys have to wait until we announce it the next time. We don't know when that'll be, so that's why we tell you to join once we make the announcement, because we don't have this all the time. This is a treat for all you guys. Let's start with number 8, 2 Corinthians 6, verse 14. Do not be yoked together with unbelievers, for what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness? Always get into relationships with a virtuous woman. A woman who believes in God and has morals and boundaries. A woman that is God-fearing. I understand. Even if a woman is God-fearing, she might go to church, mosque, synagogue. She might believe in God. She might be religious. It's not 100%, fellas, that she's not going to cheat on you. She's not going to disrespect you. We're not saying that. What we're saying is, at least these women have a foundation that you can work on. If they believe in God, at least they come with some type of morals and boundaries. We can always work on that. I want you guys to understand something, because there's a discrepancy with a lot of people that say, oh, just because she's religious. I know a lot of religious people that cheat, a lot of religious women that cheat. There's still disrespect. I understand that. What I'm saying is, at least you have a chance here. Being with a woman who's God-fearing, who's virtuous, who has some type of morale and boundaries that she hopefully comes with if she is God-fearing and she believes in God, rather than the woman who is an atheist and who's like a feather in the wind, who does whatever she wants, gets all the hot beef injections, keeps adding on to her body count, no remorse whatsoever. That's what I mean with a woman that has no morals or boundaries. At least a woman who believes in God, goes to church, reads the Bible, Quran, whatever it is, guys, she might feel bad for sleeping with a bunch of men or cheating on you. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, and actually, here'd be a good example, Czar. Would you prefer, if you were going to go on to get in a relationship with a woman, do you think you have a better chance if you meet her at a bar or meet her at a church?
A church, 100%. Because most likely she'll be feminine. She knows how to dress. Very, or
at least, and even
the
people around her, when we talk about company you keep, are at least going to have more virtuous women in that crowd that she's around. And then another easy one. Do you think it'd be better to meet a girl on Tinder for a relationship or Christian Mingle for a relationship?
Yeah, Christian Mingle.
Yeah, and it's just like, it doesn't mean that girl on Christian Mingle is perfect. Doesn't mean the girl in church is perfect. But compared to other places you're going to meet women, the percentages are better. They're higher.
Yeah. And you guys have to learn another thing. What fellowship can light have with darkness? So if you're a man of light, a lot of dark women are going to be attracted to you. I'm telling you guys right now, a lot of women who hold darkness inside of them, they are attracted to you guys who have light inside of you, because they want to take that away from you. And they get enjoyment from taking that away from you. So it's very important. If you see a woman who's dark, she's got dark energy, she looks like she lives in the dark, where the darkness is her best friend. She's engaging in certain things you don't agree with. If she's into witchcraft or Santeria, if she's into doing spells or she's heavy into zodiac signs. That's not for me. Like personally, that's not for me. I don't want a woman like that who engages in any type of satanic activities. I want a woman of light because only light can dwell with light. A woman of darkness, she's going to dim your light that you have, guys, very quickly, especially if you're naive. And same thing goes for you women listening to this. A woman of light can easily be distinguished by a man of darkness.
Yeah, and then another way that I think about this too, this quote of, don't not be yoked together with unbelievers. Well, this is kind of the Fight Club mantra. Again, if you're learning about women, you're learning about red pill, you're learning about things that are not, most people do not learn or find out in their lifetime. This is where it's like, keep your buddies. I don't get rid of my buddies because they're blue pill or whatever. They don't know about women. I keep my buddies, but I learn that I'm not going to sit here and try to talk red pill and convince all my buddies to see the light. It's like they're living in a sense in darkness in the red pill, blue pill land. It's like if you're red pilled, if you're learning all this stuff and you're trying to, get your buddies on board or something like that, if they don't receive it well, just understand that, they're an unbeliever in a sense. And that's where it's like, that's just wasted time and energy. Stick around, maybe throw some tic tacs in their brain. So when they're ready, they're, ready to grasp new concepts. But in general, if your buddies aren't into this, don't go around being the red pill guy trying to convince them because all your buddies are just going to get sick of that from you. So kind of know your audience. If they're unbelievers, don't try to create a believer out of them yet. Plant some seeds, and then down the road, when something happens and they see the light, then you guys can kind of pick up off on that journey.
Yeah, and avoid women who are strippers, who have an OnlyFans, who were prostitutes, who sold their bodies for money. Any type of other negative, degrading thing that a woman has done, avoid women like that. I am telling you, they will sell you right down the river. If they have sold their body for money, their body, the most sacred thing they have to hold on to, they will sell you out just as quickly, fellas. You avoid dark women like that because usually they come with a heavy darkness. Women that engage in these sexual acts for money. Number 9, Ephesians 5, verse 22 to 23. Ooh, this one's going to be controversial.
Yeah.
Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body, for which is the Savior. I hope you heard that, ladies. Submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. So, in order for a woman to submit to you, a lot of guys want a woman that is submit. I want a woman that's submissive. I got news for you guys. Submission is earned. You have to give her something to submit to. You think a woman biologically she was designed to submit to a weak man who's 120 pounds, who has no leadership abilities, who has no boundaries, no backbone, no testicular fortitude, no character, no masculine strength to him. You think women were designed to just give their submission away to guys like this? No, women aren't designed like that. It makes no sense for a woman to submit to any man she meets or runs into. Submission is very, very preserved for a woman, and it's preserved for the guy that she actually views as someone worthy to submitting to. So you guys have to understand that a man who is a strong masculine alpha male, those are usually the guys that women will submit to. She will follow that man. Okay. Just like a man's protection is earned, a woman's submission is also earned. I'm not going to go out of my way protecting any random thought or 304 or promiscuous woman that hasn't earned it from me. Why would I risk my life being thrown in prison or being in the graveyard over a woman who hasn't earned my protection via her loyalty, her faithfulness, what she's done for me, her being in my life, her being a woman of value, though that's the type of woman I'm protecting. So I view things differently than most guys do because they see some guy abusing his girlfriend or wife out in the street or in public, and then they want to play the beta one white knight, jump in there and try to defend the woman's honor. And she's going back with that same guy who abused her anyways to suck his cock. So what does it matter, fellas?
This one is tough because I know I grew up a Christian and I got, family members that are still very religious. And I remember having to talk to my cousins, kind of teach them this, that because they had this mindset that wives are supposed to submit to you. It's in the Bible. That is law. And I would have to, break it down to them. It's like women will, just like you said, that was the first note I made is you still must earn that role as a man. In the Bible, it says what women are supposed to do, but women will not do that unless you are showing strength. She will submit to strength. She needs that masculine man to submit to. And so many religious guys that I know have that mindset of, well, if I meet a girl at church, she knows that she's supposed to submit to her husband, and then I am the leader of the house. And that is where, when we say, be careful of the church girl, well, it's like if your mindset's going in, if the church girl is going to automatically submit to me because she's reading the Bible, that again is not how it goes. She might have a better path towards submission towards you, but she will not submit to you unless she feels strength in you. And so many men are so beta and weak around women that women will not submit to them. And I honestly don't blame them, like Czar said. So that's a huge one right there, guys, to understand. Even if it's in the Bible, even if a girl reads the Bible, even if a girl goes to church, submission with a woman will never be given to you freely. It will never be granted to you because you gave her a ring. That is granted to you in your day-to-day interactions with her about how you display yourself, how you keep your boundaries, how you stay in your frame instead of falling into her frame.
100%. A submission from a woman is earned. And another thing, fellas, without submission, a woman cannot truly be in love with you. If a woman doesn't submit to you and your masculine energy, she will never love you. She has to submit to masculine characteristics that you give her. It is a must for a woman to submit to you. If you want to feel that love, that emotional love that a woman can only give you when she submits to you. Because I've seen a lot of marriages with beta males and these women, they don't submit to their man, and you could just tell they're not even attracted to him, no sexual desire. They're with him because he's an ATM, the beta male provider. We all know that. We could see it a mile away. Dude has no testosterone. Listen, strength doesn't just come from your physique. Strength can come in the forms of many different ways. The way you carry yourself, how you handle yourself in situations, your voice. Do you have balls? So it's not just your physique. Your physique helps if you have everything to match with it. But I know a lot of strong, tall dudes that are complete pussies. They're wusses. They still carry themselves like beta males, and these women won't submit to them.
Yeah, this is a great point for when we talk about so many, not only like marriages for sure, dead bedrooms, sexless marriages, a lot of relationships get to the point where, we're not having sex anymore and all that. Well, think about this. A woman having sex, she literally has to open up her legs and submit to a penis. She's got to submit to a man going inside of her. That is complete submission. So if a woman isn't submitting to you in your day-to-day interactions, she's not submitting to your masculine energy, why would she want to submit to you sexually? And so a lot of guys that get into these marriages or relationships where they get into this point where they're convincing women to sleep with them. They're like, hey, we haven't done it in a month. We need to do it. How about next Friday? Or they're doing more chores around the house. They're doing this or that because the woman's like, no, I'm mad at you because you never helped me with the household chores. So then that guy, well, I'm going to help her with the household chores, thinking he's going to convince her to have sex with him through that. But the whole problem is that that woman doesn't want to submit. Sex is submission for a woman. She does not want to submit to a man that she doesn't see is stronger than her, more masculine than her, more decisive than her. So sex is submission. You need to get women to submit to you, or she will never at least have great sex with a man if she's not able to fully submit to him.
And the next one is Justin's favorite verse. He mentioned this on the podcast when he was on the podcast with me and Adam, and Justin's from the Players University, so he's one of the best players we have there.
Great.
He mentioned something.
Dude, shout out to Justin again. Dude.
Yeah,
Justin
shout out to you, Justin.
Awesome.
Yeah,
really good stuff.
So he mentioned something about a woman being a Proverbs 31 girl. Now, this is what he means. This is Proverbs 31, verse 10 to 12. I extended it a little bit, but here is the verse. A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. A good woman is hard to find, fellas. And she is worth more than all the precious stones on earth. I truly believe in that. I don't care how many diamonds you have, how many gold bars you have, rubies, pearls. A good woman, a good woman of noble character, she is worth more than any precious stone that is on this earth. That's the value that a good woman can bring to your life, fellas. It's endless. She is a craftswoman who adds value to the world, especially her man's life. This woman is caring, loving, nurturing, trustworthy, attentive to the needs of others, honest and faithful. Above all, she is God-fearing. Always ask a woman later. This has to come later, fellas, in the dating phase. Don't pressure her in the beginning about her belief in God. This has to be later when you're getting to know her, maybe the third date, maybe the fourth. Smoothly bring this topic into the conversation. Oh, by the way, what's your belief in God? Just to see if she's God-fearing, if she's a virtuous woman. You don't do it in the beginning, but I'm telling you, a virtuous woman, a woman who's God-fearing, these women are hard to find nowadays. We all know that. In today's society, with everything going on and the imprinting that's happening, the programming, a woman who is of noble character, she is very difficult to find, fellas. But you'll know. Once you find her, once you run into her, you'll know 100% this is her. And usually you meet these women, I'd say, once every 3 to 5 years. Once every 3 to 5 years, you'll meet this woman. It feels like she is your soulmate. There's something different about her, as if you knew her in a past life somewhere. This doesn't happen often, guys. I know a lot of you beta males, every time you meet a beautiful woman, oh, she's the one. This is it. No, this shit happens once every 3 to 5 years, where you meet this one girl that just does it for you. So you have to be prepared for when that moment happens.
Yeah. And even that perfect woman that we're talking about, the one with noble character, that right there, again, she's got the pick of the world. If a woman has that, she can pick whatever man she wants. So again, that woman has that noble character. Well, does that mean she's just going to automatically submit to you? No, that just means that if you get that girl on your program, then that is a really high quality woman, but it doesn't guarantee she's just going to lay down and submit to you, because she's got all these other great options to choose from. So you still have to be that masculine man, showing strength, being able to keep her down that right path that she has started on. That is the thing. I know women that some guys would say maybe were this noble character or noble girl, like growing up, she was really religious, really goody. And if she gets with a beta guy, slowly over time, she'll probably start to see that wild side of her come out. It's like this type of woman has the perfect start, the great roadmap, but you still have to be that decisive masculine man leading her down the rest of the path so that she doesn't go astray and get corrupted by friends around her, family around her, other guys around her.
Yeah, that's a great point. You have to be the full package nowadays because you're in competition with so many men, and we know how rare these women are that you have to really stand out in her eyes. So that's why we tell you to invest in our courses, listen to our podcast, learn the game. And shout out to you, Justin. This verse is amazing. This verse is amazing, and it definitely breaks down the perfect type of woman that I believe every man wants in their life. Next one, number 11, Proverbs 31, verse 3. We're in Proverbs still. Proverbs is a very good Bible section that you guys should all be reading. A lot of good wisdom there. This one's very fucking important. And we see this every day in life. Nothing's changed. Do not give your strength to women, nor your ways to that which destroys kings. Now, not making desires or distractions a weakness, or expending excessive time and energy pursuing them, especially women. Throughout history, kings have been ruined for giving their power away to women and making unnecessary desires they did not need to make. Human history overflows with examples of kings, emperors, and politicians ruined by adultery and weakness for sexuality. Whores can destroy kings, and imagine how much more average men can be destroyed by whores. If whores can destroy kings, and they have destroyed kings and emperors of the past, just imagine the average man, how easily he can be destroyed by these same women. Kings, due to power and riches, were objects of seduction by whorish women. And nothing has changed. For you guys listening, nothing has changed with what these whorish women do. It's more prevalent today than ever before. In the past, you can look at King David, you can look at Samson, Julius Caesar, and Mark Antony, all destroyed by women. Even the Tate brothers, destroyed by women, Tupac, Mike Tyson, and the list goes on. Great men, especially in positions of authority or leadership, must take extra precautions to be vigilant against this dangerous threat. And if women can destroy gifted rulers with many options, common men, you guys out there, you should be even more careful. So this is probably one of my favorite verses, one of the most important in my eyes when it comes to men, because we always tell you guys, this is what we keep teaching. You never give your power away to women. So the guys that say, oh, she wears the pants, she's the boss, what mama says goes, happy wife, happy life. For you guys that say asinine bullshit like that, and that's subservient beta language. I hope you guys understand that. That is subservient beta language that beta males use and say. They already gave their power away to their women. Number one, they're done. They're done for. They're not coming. The divorce is coming, the cheating, the disrespect. The second you give your power away as a man to a woman, you give her that leadership ability that you're supposed to have as a masculine man. That's your superpower. You are done. You are fucking done. And if you don't put on the full armor of game with what we teach you, you are also done with women. Like these men have been destroyed by these whorish women.
Women are born with like a woman biggest attraction qualities, I would say, is her purity and her beauty. A woman that stays pure and that stays in shape and is, pretty, she's got the world at her hands. A man, our gift is our strength. Men having that strength, that is what women get attracted to when they can feel that strength in a man. So if you're giving your strength away to women, you're going, oh, I don't need to play texting games. That's stupid. I'm just going to tell her how I feel. It's like, well, okay, do it. But what you're doing, you're signaling subcommunication wise, is you're giving her your strength. You're giving her your power, your strength. You're chasing and pursuing her and all that. And then now the biggest thing that you had that women get attracted to is now flushed down the toilet. just like women that give away their purity and beauty to all sorts of different men. Us men, when you find out about all of her past experiences or all of her, her stripper lifestyle, it's like that ruins a lot of the attraction in our mind as well. So when you're giving your strength away to women, you're losing. And when you're giving away your schedule, your routines, the things that you did that made you a king in her mind, that's going to destroy you as well. So the guys that have this really busy lifestyle and all of that, and they created this kingdom, and then a woman comes along and says, "Oh, you work too much. Stop that. I don't want you to take work off tomorrow." All of that. Well, when you stop doing the things that made you become the king, that's going to destroy your relationship. Your subcommunication, giving away your strength and power again to these women in that relationship, and then you're going to lose. Men got to keep that strength. Smart women out there keep their purity and beauty.
Yeah, and women can be predatory, so they can sense weakness a mile away. They know if you're a sitting duck, if you're a goofball, if you're a beta male. They know who these guys are. You guys underestimate how smart women are. And if you are a sitting duck, these women will take advantage of you, and they have no remorse whatsoever inside of them.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
always
women.
important to keep your power as a man.
Women are like bees. It's like when they smell fear, then they sting. Right? We are human beings. We shouldn't be scared of a little tiny bee. Us men, we got strength. We shouldn't be scared of, a little woman there. But men that are fearful of women, men that are like, oh, I don't know if she likes me, and they have that like fearful energy about them, that's when women sting. That's when women test. They're like, nah, this guy needs to show strength. I'm going to keep testing him to see if this guy's really a man. It's like you show a little weakness, and that stinger comes out in that girl, and she starts stinging away, going, how strong is this man? I need to figure out if this guy is strong enough to lead me, or if he's just going to be another beta mon I put in my back pocket and get free meals from.
And the best part is once they realize you're not that guy that they could take advantage of or manipulate, they just stop fucking with you.
Yep.
That's the best part about these. If they know you're not that guy, you're not falling for this shit, they will not fuck with you.
They put the stinger away.
They put the stinger away. They go to the guy they can take advantage of. And telling you God's rejection is God's way of protecting you. Rejection is God's protection. So you guys have to also accept that if a woman ends up leaving your life, there's a reason why she left. Let her go. We're not chasing after any bees. We're not chasing after any women. Let them go. If they come back, cool, they come back. The door's always open.
Betas and simps have such a hard life dating women because it's like everything they're doing, the energy they're giving off is like they're walking up to a beehive, shaking the beehive, smacking the beehive around, and they're like, why did I get stung? Well, when you are showing weakness to women, that beehive is coming after you. And then it's a tough life.
Women are like canines. They're like bloodhounds. They could smell, they could sense the fear on a man. They know if he has strength, if he has weakness, a mile away. Just like we can tell who a whorish woman is a mile away, these women can tell who the strong guys are, who the weak-minded men are, and they will take advantage of you. Number 12, we're still in Proverbs. I want every guy to really write this down. Write this down so you can go over it from time to time to remind yourself. Proverbs 21, verse 19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. It is better to be fucking homeless than being with an argumentative and angry woman, fellas. That's in the Bible. We didn't just come up with that out of nowhere. So what God is trying to tell you here is your peace as a man's peace and his health, those are the most important things that he has in his life. A man needs a woman to take the sharp edge off of a man's life. That's what a man needs. He doesn't need a woman that's going to add more drama, raise his blood pressure, raise his cholesterol, make him angry, raise his temperature, get him all emotional, have him having sleepless nights. If your woman is doing that, and I've been in a toxic relationship like that, I'm not immune, fellas. What I'm saying is, I finally had the courage to leave her. And isn't it funny how the second I left her, good things started happening in my life? And I had my peace back and my sanity and my health. Those are the most important things you have as a man. And if a woman's coming home and she's throwing everything at you but the kitchen sink, she's raising your blood pressure, you can't even sleep at night, you can't be yourself around this woman, you're afraid to say anything to her because of the backlash you're going to get. She's repressing your masculinity that you have. You are with the wrong woman. I want you guys in relationships right now, look at the girl you're with. If you're too scared to tell her exactly how you feel, or that you want to go hang out with the boys, or that you don't want to do this, you want to go do that, or you're too scared to set boundaries, put your foot down, you're too scared of putting her in her place for fear of what she might say back or how she might react to you, she wears the pants in the relationship. You are a bitch, and you need to get the fuck out of that relationship ASAP.
Even this, it's better to dwell in the wilderness than with the contentious and angry woman. Well, how do I see that in my mind? An angry woman is an angry bee's nest ready to sting. So guys learning game, it's like, I don't even know if that's the right word for it, game, but that's what we call it. But a lot of guys think about that and they're like, oh, it's just playing games. It's all fake and it's inauthentic. I don't want to learn how to play games with women. It's like, it's not. You're learning the game of biology, psychology, understanding the differences between men and women, and understanding the right moves to make so that that woman doesn't become an angry beehive ready to sting you. Because when you're interacting with a woman, right, most women that you meet start out as pleasant women. They're putting on their best foot forward. They're putting on their best face. You go on a date with a woman, it's not like she usually shows up all angry, ready to sting you. But over time, she does that. Why? Because she's smelling weakness. She's smelling insecurity in you. And then her stinger's coming out. And throughout time, the more mistakes you make as a man with that woman, the longer that stinger gets, the more bees she brings with her in her beehive to keep stinging you. So when guys learn game the right way, when guys understand women and understand the strategies of dating and relationships, by doing that, you're being able to keep that woman that you meet that's nice and pleasant, and you're not giving her a reason to pull out her stinger and become that contentious and angry woman. So I think this could be taken almost both ways. Like, is it the chicken or the egg? Because I don't meet women that just come and approach me and they're contentious and angry. But I definitely see women in relationships that are contentious and angry with their man. So is it that woman was born contentious and angry, or that woman is frustrated subconsciously in a sense that her man is not strong enough? So she has to become aggressive and angry and poke to try to see some strength out of him.
Absolutely. So they'll do that to try to feel that masculine strength from you. They'll purposely start arguments with you. That's one of the reasons. The other reasons, we're not going to get into it, could be that she's already cheating on you and her backup is locked and loaded. That's why she just doesn't care. She wants to keep pushing you away. But usually if a woman is starting random arguments, she wants you to put her in her place. She wants to see some type of masculine essence from you.
She's hoping and wishing. She's hoping and wishing. Every time she tests, she's like hoping and wishing, please pass it this time so I can look at him with more adoration, so I can look at him with respect. Please pass it. Subconsciously, you're not passing a test, so subconsciously she keeps testing. Sometimes she does it consciously, other times subconsciously. She doesn't know why, but she tests you because she's hoping that she will feel strength in you with all these tests she's throwing.
She wants to feel that you still have some balls left, fellas. When she grabs your balls, she wants to feel that you still have two testicles that are present in your scrotum. That's why she's being contentious and she's starting arguments with you. Do you guys have any balls left? Or are you afraid of this woman? because I'm not going to be afraid of any woman or to tell her exactly how I feel. But one of the main characteristics of learning game is learning how to properly screen and vet a woman, because one woman can ruin your life. And like Adam said, most women, they put their best foot forward those couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of months, until they become what I call a chupacabra, a goat sucker. They become a bat out of Haiti. And you ask yourself, where did this woman come from? Well, that's who she always was. So some women are toxic to begin with. You have to learn how to properly screen, properly vet a woman. That's why I tell you guys, do not get in a relationship until it's been at least 6 months to a year and this woman has been showing you consistency and she's not wearing a mask. That's who she is. But no, most of you guys want a girl to move into your place right away. You want to move into hers, and now you wonder where this woman came from. Well, you have no one to blame but you because you didn't properly screen her. But peace is the most important thing in my life, Adam. I know it's the most important thing in your life. I'm not dealing with any drama. I'm not dealing with any woman yelling, telling me what to do, blowing up my phone. And most of these women that come with this type of a headache, they're full-blown feminists. They're hardcore masculine women, and they are liberals. These are the three women that usually come with this type of toxicity, that argumentative, pugnacious nature. Those are the types of women, and we told you to stay away from those types on episode 50. So go back and listen to that. Okay. Now, the last one. This is a story that all you guys need to learn from because most of you still don't fucking get it. It's the story of Samson and Delilah. And this story always resonates with me because it goes back to one theme. One theme. There's one theme around this story. Do not share your weaknesses with a woman, even if she tells you to be vulnerable with her, even if she tells you to open up. Share your weaknesses. She might not say weaknesses. She might use another word. Do not do it. I'm going to repeat that again. Do not do it. I'm going to repeat that again. Do not share your weaknesses with your woman. So if you have a little wiener and you last 5 seconds in the bedroom and you're insecure about that, do not share that with your woman. Keep it to yourself. Delilah was a Philistine. We're going to get into the story so you guys have some type of context. So Delilah, she was a Philistine who bribed and entrapped Samson, revealing that the secret to his strength was his long hair. So Samson had a fatal attraction for her. Samson was known as the strongest man at that time. Delilah was a woman who loved money. She loved money and who was self-seeking and self-absorbed. Does that sound like a good amount of women in today's society, fellas? To me, it does. So nothing's really changed about female nature. Certain women, not all women, because certain women are evil. So the lords of the Philistines, they approached Delilah and instructed her to entice Samson and find out where his great strength lied and by what means they can overpower him. If she succeeded, every one of them would give her 1,100 pieces of silver. So she began asking Samson on 3 different occasions where the source of his strength lies. Samson was smart. He knew that she was trying to manipulate him. That's why he lied to her those 3 times she asked. He always gave her a bullshit reason every time she asked where his source of strength lies. And every time it didn't work when she tried trapping him. So with the last ditch attempt, Delilah did something different. She tugged at his emotions. She said, "How can you love me if your heart is not with me?" She was pissed off that he lied to her 3 times. And now she's tugging at his emotions. "How can you love me if your heart is not with me, Samson? You have mocked me these 3 times and have not told me where your great strength lies." He finally caved in and told her the truth. Delilah was evil. And she only had love for one thing, and that love was for money. Her pretended love for Samson for the sake of money is deeply troubling. This is the exact same world we live in today. Not everyone that smiles at you is wishing you well. Not every beautiful face has a beautiful soul. Samson ignored the red flags 3 times in a row and knew she could not be trusted. That's why he lied to her those 3 times. He knew instinctively, I can't trust this woman, but he had a fatal attraction for her. So she ended up putting him to sleep. She got one of the other Philistine soldiers to shave his head, and that's when they entrapped him. So this story is very important. There's a lot of lessons to be learned here. If a woman is telling you her red flags, she's telling you certain stories that you know are flashing red flags on this woman, and you still decide to be with her. That is your fault as a man. If this woman tells you that back in the day, she took drugs and she ended up robbing a house, she went to prison, but she's better now. She's rehabilitated. She doesn't do that anymore. And you still allow her in your life. And guess what? She does the same thing to you. Whose fault is that? Her fault or your fault? I mean, is that her fault or is that your fault? Is that her fault for robbing your house? Or is that your fault as a man for ignoring those red flags? What do we tell you about Genesis 3 with Adam and Eve? The accountability always falls on the man. The accountability will always fall on you guys. So this is why it's important to listen to a woman's red flags and what she tells you. And this is why it's also crucial to make sure you know how to vet a woman. Anyone you allow in your life, that is your accountability. That's your responsibility. So any woman that's ever did me wrong, cheated on me, I always owned up to it and took accountability because I didn't want that happening to me again. And it hasn't happened ever since. I haven't been in a toxic relationship since the last one, and that was the only one because I learned from my lessons. And a lot of guys don't learn from their lessons. And there's a lot of Delilahs out there and men like Samson. And we can go talk about Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, all these other rich celebrities, Johnny Depp, who end up with women like these and they still don't listen because they don't have any game. They're not complete. They're broken on the inside. They look at a beautiful face, but they don't look at the soul that this woman has. They look at the smile, but they don't realize that not every person that smiles at you wishes you well.
I mean, go back, guys, and listen to the vulnerability podcast we did because that will break down a lot of not sharing weaknesses with women. Remember what we've been preaching. Your superpower is your masculine strength. By revealing weaknesses or revealing insecurities and all that, you're ruining that image she has in her mind of that strong masculine man so that she can be free to be that chaotic feminine woman. When you're revealing these things about yourself, you're ruining that mystery of that big strong guy that, wow, this guy, he's a superhero. Well, once you reveal your weaknesses, you're no longer you're more normal to her. You're not that superhero in her life anymore. And then revealing the strength is something that I do see guys that learn game and make the mistake of is like guys try like they tell women what they're doing. They almost like a girl's like, I don't know what it is about you, but I'm really attracted to you right now. And that guy's like, well, that's because I've been really mysterious. And they like will flat out say something like that to her, or they will try to describe what they're doing about why, oh yeah, by me doing this, I'm a strong masculine man. It's like when you're revealing your strength too, you're telling Delilah where your strength come from, your hair. She's now like, oh, this guy wasn't all that cool. It's just his hair. Once his hair's gone, he's not the same man. So when you're revealing game to women like that and telling her the reason you're taking a long time to text her back is because it will make her grow more attracted to you. She'll see you as a busy man. It's like never reveal that with women. Don't reveal that big power, that strength you have, and definitely don't reveal your weaknesses like that to women.
That's very important too, because a lot of guys want to discuss the red pill around women.
Yep.
Well, did you know women are this, or I'm doing this because I learned, or I listened to this podcast and yeah, this is my masculine strength you're attracted to. Oh, this is my mysterious nature. That's why you're attracted to me because I'm remaining a mystery by not telling you my birthday or my zodiac sign. No, you don't say dumb shit like that. Act aloof. Like you don't know
Yeah,
what's going on, but you do know what's going on because a good magician never reveals his magic tricks.
exactly.
So you don't explain to a woman logically why she's attracted to you. That's not how it works. So that's a
Yeah,
very great point.
and it goes back to, I mean, like, girl, I was always into magic as a kid, like magic tricks and all that stuff. I'd buy all the kits, and like, if someone had a new magic trick or a card trick and they did it to me, I remember being like, especially my older brothers, I was like a young naive kid, and they could do all sorts of rigging of the deck, and it's like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? And I was so excited, it was so fun. And then when someone would reveal the trick to me, oh, I just did this, I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of stupid. Anyone can do that, and it wasn't fun anymore. It's like if you like I had this magic kit where I could make a card float in midair and I could spin it around. It looked really, really cool. I got this whole video to learn how to do it. And then when I did this trick and people were, all, oh, that's really cool. I was like, oh no, don't worry. Here's how I do it. I take a little piece of putty in this fishing line and then I have it up in my hand. And then I reveal that. And it's like, it's not even cool anymore. No one cares. It was cool and it was magic. It's not cool now that the mystery is all revealed and it's all gone. So keep the game the game. It's Fight Club. You don't need to talk about it with women. Just do it. Show, don't tell. Be that man you're learning to be. Don't tell women how you became that man because you watched these podcasts, read these books, and blah blah blah, and then you learned all these tactics. It's like no, women want that mystery, and they want that mystery to be you as being that superhero.
Yes. And guys, make sure you also grab our courses. If you want to learn the complete game, there's the texting package, there's the inner game, there is also the outer game. Everything you need to know is in our courses. We are as real as they come. I promise you. You have the full package that can turn you into the full package. But once again, it's also how hungry you are as a person. If you really want to learn this shit, I believe any man is capable of learning how to attract women and keep women. But a lot of guys give up too early.
Well, and again, this goes back to like I've heard so many times spending so much money on courses over the years of marketing and business and websites and all that. It's like when you pay attention. When I pay for something, I pay attention. But going back to one of the quotes earlier, we don't want to throw pearls at pigs. It's like the guys that will DM me on Instagram, they're like, hey, I really need to know this or whatever. It's like, okay, if you really wanted to learn this, you would have been listening to our podcast at least. That's free. So guys will come to me and they'll ask this question. I'll be like, dude, have you listened to our podcast? No, I plan on doing it, but can you just help me out real quick? I'm like, I'm throwing pearls at pigs in. It's like, at least take all of this free advice we're giving on the podcast to show you that I'm not throwing pearls at pigs now. So when you guys join, when you pay attention. That is where growth comes. And another great spot is the Players University. That is where we're seeing continuous growth. We got content in there. We got so many guys. We got me and Czar. We got Justin. We got Richard. We got other new aspiring players in there to help you guys out.
Yeah, and I love when guys also complain about the price of the courses. But once again, I don't want to just throw pearls at swine. Like the price is set at a high price because that's over 17 years of value and information that we had to accumulate through rejections, through failure. That's 17 fucking years. I don't know how long it is for you, Adam, but with me, it's 17 plus years of learning this shit through trial and error and going out there and having success and failures. So for $99 or $98, I forget how, I think it's 98 for the ebook. Yeah, there's 17 years of value in that ebook. And I don't just want any fucking dork or loser to pay $20 for an ebook, just skim through it and say, oh, well, that sucked. No, because I know if you invest $98 in an ebook, guess what? You're going to start highlighting things. You're going to start paying attention. You're really going to want to learn the game. And that's what separates the losers from the winners when it comes to women and life in general. Because with every great person has a mentor and they invest money in that mentor. with anything in life. It could be finance, business, dating, relationships. You always have a mentor. So just because people say, "Oh, you're a loser if you invested in this," or you're trying to learn about that, no, you're not a loser. Because I guarantee you, every great person in this world who accomplished great things and achievements, they had a mentor that they
Yeah.
paid for, whether that was their time or that was their money.
Yeah, and a perfect example I've heard before is like when I have a problem with one of my, my bathroom, it's like I call a plumber. I don't know how to do that stuff. And sometimes I pay a couple $100 for a plumber to come in and fix something in 5 or 10 minutes. And it's like, some people be like, "Oh, that's a ripoff. You paid a couple $100 for that plumber to come in, in 10 minutes." And it's like, no, the way I've heard this is this. You're paying that money because that plumber was able to come in and do it in 5 or 10 minutes because of the 15 or 20 years of experience. So they knew how to dissect that problem and solve it quickly. That they could have sat there and taken 2 hours if you really wanted to and made you feel better about your money. But that knowledge, the reason I pay that plumber is because they're able to solve it quickly, something that would have taken me hours to YouTube videos of and try to learn it myself. It's like experience is value. And by learning stuff like this, like by investing, by learning, now you have a skill that cannot be taken away from you. It's a skill that you can use for life.
It's the same thing with the plumber. He had to study doing all that, and he's a master at what he does. So that's what you're paying him for, the knowledge and the value that he has.
Yeah, you could pay a guy to tell you, "Hey, to get better with women, you gotta approach 150 women next week." And that's his advice. It's like, or you could go to somebody that's going to break down, like Czar and I, how to approach women, the mindset, lines you can use, situations to do it in, slow burn game, long burn game, all that. So now you don't have to approach 150 women. You can approach one woman and have a huge jump in your experience level starting from there. So now by the time you approach a couple women, you're starting to figure it out instead of just saying, 150 women, go talk to them all, figure it out, and you're doing it all the wrong way. So you're going backwards and all that. It's like, no, we'll give you the shortcut. Here's the right way. We've done it all the wrong ways. Here is the right way. And yeah, it might take a few approaches to get it down, but this is the right way. We went through all the wrong ways, so you don't have to flood your bathroom trying to learn how to unclog your toilet by yourself. It's like we come in here, we give you solutions, and now you don't have to sit here approaching 1,000 women to figure it out. It's like you approach a few and you're starting to learn already.
Yeah. So, guys, it's a good investment because think about the money that they're going to waste going out on dates, wasting their money and time without any success or results. To me, that's a waste of money rather than investing in an ebook or a course and actually taking the time to learn and having success with the woman you go out on a date with because you know what to do now. So the choice is yours, guys, but we do this for you and we take the time out late at night doing these podcasts for you as well. And make sure you guys subscribe, like the Spotify podcast, wherever you're listening on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, share it. Tell your beta male barnacle friends to also listen to it. You guys really help us with the algorithm, but we wanted to thank all of you for because we had 10,000 downloads in, I believe, less than a year, which was a good goal, and we're going to keep it going for you guys. So thank you very much to everyone out there who tunes in every week, and you guys really pay attention to the game we're giving you guys.
Take care, guys. See you next week.